Thank you. How you guys doing? Good, I hope. Nice to see you guys again. If you don't know yet, but I hope you do, I'm Tyler Johnson, the host of Live with Ty, Boston's favorite talk show that spotlights Boston's biggest superstars. But how are we doing tonight? Back from spring break, I hope you guys had a good time doing whatever it is you did. Whether you went to Miami, Cancun, or your couch to watch Severance, I'm happy to see you guys back. If you couldn't tell by my tan, look here, I actually went to Miami myself. If you're one of my bros watching this from back home, hit me up and I'll tell you all about it. And if you're one of my family members watching, don't check local Miami news stations. You know what I found out this week? How many people got shocked by the bipolar weather, even though I told you guys it was coming. Now I have to watch all you Californians nearly freeze to death when you realize that just because it's 55 and sunny one day, doesn't mean it won't drop to 25 the next. I mean, come on, this is Boston, and Mother Nature loves to keep us on our toes. But I do feel like we talk about the weather a lot on this show. I mean, it's one of the few frustrating things about Boston. But hey, we put up with it because the city gives us so much in return. We got legendary sports teams, you know, the Celtics, Bruins, Patriots, Red Sox, and whatever the MLS team is called. Sorry, Olger. We got some of the best restaurants in the country. The only downside, you have to walk through the widest neighborhood you've ever seen just to get to them. But hey, anything for a good cannoli, right? And of course, the history. This place is like a living museum. You can grab a coffee, stroll past Paul Revere's house, and then watch two massholes throwing hands outside a Dunkin' over who cut in line. Not many cities can say that. So yeah, the weather's unpredictable, but that's just part of the Boston experience. You learn to layer up, usually in a coat that makes you look like Darth Vader. But all jokes aside, Boston is a land of opportunity. And if there's one thing award season always reminds me of, it's how many stars got their start right here in the Bean. The list goes on. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris Evans, Mark Wahlberg, generic white guy number 5. We've produced some serious talent. And let's be honest, half of Hollywood's tough guy accents are just people trying and usually failing to sound like Bostonians. And although I'm not from here, I'd love to be on that list one day. I can just see it. Tyler Johnson, TV superstar, award winner. But when my name gets called on that stage, I'd thank hard work, perseverance, and the countless mentors who guided me along the way. You know what? Scratch that. I'd like to thank Pavement Guy, who's always starts making my order before I even walk in, the T driver, who kindly reassures me the train is full, and another is coming a short distance behind, 20 minutes away, and Boston drivers, who taught me that I should never, ever stop at a red light, and instead try to blow by it and hit as many people as possible. And I can't forget the city's ever-present construction crews, who've ensured that no matter where I go, no matter how much time passes, there will always be something causing a detour. A huge appreciation for New England weather, which, like I said, has personally trained me to carry sunglasses, an umbrella, and a puffer coat at all times. Oh, and let's not forget about the Red Sox, who taught me that no matter how much money you have, and no matter how popular you are, you can still lose a lot. Now, don't click off, because we got a great show for you tonight. Like I said, we got one of the funniest guys, if not the funniest guy in the Boston comedy scene. Also joining us tonight is Guatemalan superstar and player for New England Revolution, Olger Escobar, who, let's just say, makes me appreciate retirement a lot. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Live with Ty. Better for you.
We all know him pretty well.
And you guys are so much fun. I was thinking,
Live with Ty starts now.
Please welcome to the Live with Ty stage. You saw him on Amazon's Prime, Don't Tell Comedy, the mud of the Boston comedy scene, Peter Liu. So Peter, you lived in a bunch of different places. You lived in Australia, China, New Zealand, and New Jersey. So out of all those places, you came back and you're like, comedian, how?
That's a good question. New Jersey, the most exotic of them all. I don't think the moving has to do with the comedian. Well, actually a little bit, because like you move around a lot, you know, it's not like normal. You know what I mean? I feel like most people, they stay relatively where they are most of their lives.
Not you, though.
No, not me. No, my family did like a racism tour. We went everywhere. You know, we're like, where's the best? You know.
Where was it? Where was the
best? It was
best?
New Jersey. They won. That's why we stayed.
They're just up there.
Yeah.
Another thing that you say when you come into this whole comedy thing, you say your family's quite eccentric.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I mean, if they're like, I would say you have to come see a show to get all of it.
Okay.
But they're definitely, you don't, like when you're growing up, you assume everyone else's family is like your family.
Yeah.
Because you just assume, oh, that this is what normal is, you know. And then you grow up, you're like, oh, a lot of that didn't make any sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, you didn't have this experience? Your dad didn't stab your pet turtle with a pen? No, that's not normal. So then you're like, oh, okay, let me take some of these stories, and you're like, you know, you start talking about them on stage.
In one of your reels, and like I wasn't lying, I watched a bunch of them of you.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
did. I watched too many.
Hell
Many.
yeah.
You say that when being a stand-up comedian, it's an art of public speaking, right? But you also have to do so much more. You say you have to do off-the-cuff stuff, riff the crowd, and also the last thing is like crowd work as well. Can you explain, I guess, some of the overlooked elements that comes with like being a stand-up comic?
When I started doing comedy, there's so many facets of it that you like don't see until you start doing it. You know what I mean? So obviously there's a whole business side and a marketing side, but like even within the just the art of stand-up comedy, it's not just like you doing your material. Like you would think it's mostly that, but
it's not.
It's not, especially in the beginning, because you're doing like gigs, right?
Yeah.
Like I said,
at
you're
the dirty restaurants. And
yeah,
clubs.
you're doing like dirty restaurants. You're getting paid in slices of pizza. You know, so it's like you're dealing with like rowdy people,
Yeah.
drunk people, people who aren't paying attention, people who don't give a like
Okay.
it's a lot, right? So in the beginning, you have to develop the skill set to just get people to pay attention to you. You know what I mean? Like you kind of like start comedy, I want to say, in the hardest mode.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of video game.
Okay.
Whereas like as you keep going,
It gets easier.
it gets easier because there's more people, more laughter, and they're there to see you. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So they're locked in. But like in the beginning, you're like forcing comedy onto people who don't want to listen to it. You know?
Okay.
So yeah, you have to develop the skills like you said, like you have to be able to crowd work people. You have to get people to like, you know, to shut up. You have to like deal with hecklers. You have to like read the energy of the room. Sometimes you're in the middle of a punchline and then, you know, a server drops a glass or some drunk person yells something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you got to be able to deal with all of that in the beginning. So a lot of that is like, you know, being able to riff on what's around you.
That's
being
the
able-
riff part I was going to ask
That's the
you
riff
about
part,
that.
right? Kind of riffing on like, you know, what's funny about your environment. That just kind of shows people, hey, I'm in the room with you.
Got you. Do you have
You know
any
what I mean?
crazy riff stories you want to share with us here?
During the pandemic, we weren't supposed to be doing shows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got to a point where you could do outdoor shows, and there was this one guy who put me on a show. It was at a university, and it was in the middle of winter. I think it was February, and it was outdoors, and it was at night
Okay.
in New England, okay? So it was like 20 degrees.
Oh, so it's like now, like
Yeah, it's like right
Oh,
now. Imagine when we did
gosh.
it right now. We're like, yo, let's do an outdoor show tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
No space heaters, nothing. And then they had like one like, you know, little like food truck with a generator that kept going off over and over
Oh,
again.
no.
And the entire audience, they're just like this. They're like, we just want to go home. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why you're here. You know, like this was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, every comic bombed. There was like a lineup of 8 comics. Headliner's supposed to do like, I don't know, 30 minutes. He did 3, got the f- off the stage, and he was like, you guys don't want to be here. You know, go home. Like none of us want to be here.
That's so fair. That's so fair. We're gonna play a game here.
Okay.
You ready for that? It's called Speed Roast Challenge. So how it's gonna work is that you're gonna get 30. There's gonna be an image that gets played on the TV. You're gonna have 30 seconds to roast it. I'm gonna judge it. Does that sound cool?
Okay.
So we're gonna
And
go
then
over.
I'm gonna judge you after you judge me.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah.
it's gotta be
Okay.
fair,
Yeah.
right?
We'll
Let's do it.
let's do it. Let's do it. We'll
Wait,
give it even.
what are the themes?
I guess you'll see. They're
BLT?
kinda. Yeah, BLT.
Oh, we're starting already?
Yeah, we're starting already right into it.
I mean, the construction of this BLT is not too bad. It's a little crusty on the top, right? A little bit burnt. I don't know, my BLT is pretty delicious. I mean, there's 2 cancer spots on the bottom. That might be a mole. I don't know what that
That's
is.
true. That is true.
Yeah, whoever cooked this probably f***ed it up a little bit or didn't clean their
Do you think
frying
that's
pan.
real or that's like like AI generated?
The specks of cancer? I mean, maybe that's the flavor. I don't know. People are into weird these days. You know?
Maybe they are. Maybe they are.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay, I think the 30-second timer is probably
By the
up
way,
by now.
why are we roasting delicious food? Okay, I'm hungry. We should be eating right now. Next.
Okay, next one.
Okay, George Washington.
Correct, George
George
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, they say he was really tall. He was like 6'2". So
Yeah.
that's like impressive. I
They also
guess.
said something about his teeth too.
Yeah, they're all f***ed up. He
Yeah.
has like animal teeth. He has like horses on the top, and I think human slaves on the bottom.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Dude, even there, like we still couldn't make it to the top. That's kind of
yeah, it's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
Disrespectful, right? I was like, what?
Ugh.
I mean, the bottom teeth get used a lot more. You
Yeah,
know
he
what I mean?
could.
So that's yeah.
Okay. Any final roast you want to throw at,
GW, I mean, he looks pale as
Okay.
Very, very, very pink on the cheeks. Must have been a cold day.
Probably New England.
Yeah, probably New England.
Probably New England. Okay, we're going to move on to the next image. Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah, think about the app as a whole. Not just this picture with the weird
Snapchat
ghost.
is great. I mean, it destroyed Peter Liu's entire career.
Yeah, it did.
It's okay, he's never going to see this. Snapchat, I think it's funny that people actually thought that, like, it's like, oh, it goes away. You know, like, no, it doesn't go away, you idiot. Everyone has screen record.
True.
Also, you could just take a camera and just record it, you know what I mean? Kind of looks like a Sour Patch Kid.
A little bit.
You know, with a little
Which are
hood
you
on
into
top.
more, Sour Patch Kids or Snapchat?
Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, good answer.
I don't Snapchat anymore.
Okay, good.
That was back when I was stupid. Also, dude, people lost friendships because of Snapchat. Because you know that location thing?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
people like, oh, you guys are out without me tonight? What the you know what I mean?
That's true, that's true. All right, last one. Last one, play it.
Drake?
Yes.
We're doing Drake.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're doing
I feel
Drake.
like Kendrick's done enough.
Okay.
Do I need to add on top of
Okay, maybe, okay, Final Blow. He just came out with the album #1 in the charts, you know, for right now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This man's been diss tracked for the last, like, 5 years on and on. I feel like we should give him some compliments, maybe boost his self-esteem.
Boost him up. Okay, I think we'll call it at that. From a judge perspective, I think you killed it. So
Thank
well
you, man.
done.
I appreciate
Well
it.
done on that. Well done on that. So other things that, you know, keep you sane, that we've done like in our research on, like you're into powerlifting, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, yoga. Those are
I
some
did his
of your
homework.
Yeah, I did. I tried. What are some of those like ventures, and like are they important, you know, to you sustaining this career for yourself, or?
Yeah, I know we were talking about your gym here at BU.
Yeah.
I used to powerlift there, so, you know, your gym's responsible for 2 broken discs. So I'm going to sue you guys. He's like, no. No. I used to powerlift. I like
Okay.
powerlifting. That was like my thing throughout.
That was 2
life.
discs ago, right?
That was 2 discs ago. Yeah.
2
L4,
discs ago.
one L4, one L5 ago.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. You know, it was fun. It was like when you're young, you know, you see how strong you can get before your body breaks down.
Yeah.
And then you see it, and you're like, all right, I did it. Okay. I wish I could still do it, but I can't. I kind of just like lift for fun. You know,
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
just maintenance now. You know?
What about the
Now that
Brazilian
I've
jiu-jitsu?
broken my ego enough.
Yeah.
And my body. Jiu-jitsu, I'm still doing jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is cool. Do you do jiu-jitsu?
I don't.
You don't? You should
No.
do jiu-jitsu.
I should try. Maybe I should try it out.
You should try it.
How'd you fall into that?
I got my ass beat. That's
Okay.
how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So one day I was at this gym where the rules of like Muay Thai are like, all right, you and I, we fight like men. Okay, we stand up. One of you takes the other one down. All right, we reset. We stand back up. We fight like men. Okay,
Yeah.
these are the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. MMA, obviously, that's not the rules.
Yeah,
right?
they just beat the
get
crap out of you.
You're on the ground. You get the crap beaten out of you. So I went to practice
do.
one day with the MMA guys, and I was like, "Hey, coach, can I like hop in with the sparring? Let me see what happens, right?" And this dude, he like caught my kick, and then he took me down. And this is where I'm used to like, okay, you get off now. We fight like men, right?
Yeah.
No, he didn't do that. He mounted me and beat the out of me. And I remember he was punching me like in my face, like in the front. I was like, it's okay, I'll block like this, right? But then he would hit me on the side. So I was like, oh, okay, I gotta move my hands out. And then he started hitting me in the front. I was like, okay, this is no good. So I did one of these, and then he armbarred me. So that was my first jiu-jitsu experience. And I remember I went home that night, and I Googled, I went on YouTube. I was like, yo, how to escape mount? And then I started doing jiu-jitsu. I was like, okay, maybe there's more to this jiu-jitsu stuff than I thought. You know what I mean? It's not just, you know, dudes rolling around on the ground, you know? So then I've been doing it for like a decade now, and it's good. It's cool, because I think jiu-jitsu and comedy actually have a lot of parallels. You know,
How
like,
so?
they're both like, it's really hard in the beginning. Like, you
Yeah.
get humbled very quickly.
Okay.
It's very hard. Like, in jiu-jitsu, you're like, wow, I'm so vulnerable as a man, you know? Because I was powerlifting, you know? I was pretty strong.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
pretty strong.
I was pretty strong. And then these, like, scrawny 130-pound dudes would just, like, wrap me up. I'm like, I don't know anything, but you have both my arms. It can't be good for me. You know what I mean? The beginning of comedy, I would say, is kind of, like, similar. You know what's interesting? Bombing actually feels worse than tapping.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, because I think tapping is like you telling one other person, it's like, hey, you killed me. You know what I mean? But like,
Oh, bombing's in front of everybody.
bombing is in front of like let's say 100 people. Like back in the day, we were in a village, and I'm in front of that many people, and they all disapprove of me. I'm dead. You know, I'm very, very dead. So I think that's why it's just like, it's like one person killed me versus like 100 people are just like, nah, this. Like, because stand-up is you putting yourself out there. You know, like, this is my thoughts, these are my feelings, this is what I find is funny. And when people don't laugh, they're just like, yeah, we don't like you as a person. You know what I mean? Like, no, we're shunning the shit out of you. So I think that's why bombing feels worse.
You also had an amazing experience to open for it was Ronny Chieng at the Wilbur Theater.
That I did.
How was that experience?
He probably regrets it. No.
No. I heard you killed it though.
No, I did.
I heard you did a great job.
It was great. It was awesome.
What's it like opening for a guy? You know, he's been on a bunch of late night shows. He's at the Daily Show. Like, what was that like?
Ronny's killing it, man. I mean, at first I was like, yo, let me just get to where Ronny is, and I'll be happy. And then since then, he's been like doing movies. You know, he's been like touring internationally. No, he's a super nice guy. And he had me open for him, and I've never done like that many people before. It's crazy because the Wilbur's like a little over 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's a theater. What are you talking about before?
Yeah. And like when people laugh there, like that reverberates, that energy. It's like 10, 20 seconds of laughter. It just keeps going.
Yeah, it keeps going and going.
That's what I'm saying. Like as comedy, like as you keep going, it gets easier. You know? Instead of like a 2-3 second laugh in like, you know, a small room, you're getting like these 10, 20 second laughs. Just the energy, it's like insane. Definitely like one of the highlights of my comedy career. But yeah, no, it was great. He had 2 shows. We did like early, was it like 8 o'clock, and then it was like at 10 o'clock. And he packed both of them out, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's a massive name.
It was on like a Sunday, I think, even. It wasn't even like a Friday or Saturday night, you know?
Is there a moment, like I guess in your career, where you're like, man, I've made it as a comic? Or what's next for you? Like, what are you aspiring
towards?
What
am I looking for?
Yeah.
I think like consistently headlining clubs across the country. That would be nice. So like I'm like probably doing like smaller venues. It would be nice to like headline like the bigger clubs. That'll be cool. I don't know. JFL, like one of those festivals. Netflix is a joke. Any of the stuff we talked about that would pop off. That would be great. Because I've done all like the lower level festivals or the mid-tier festivals. But like now that I've done enough of those, I realize that like the bigger festivals are the ones where there's like, you know, industry agents. Those are like, that can like pop you off. Whereas the other ones are like fun. You know, you get to meet other comics, you can hang, you know, it's a good time. But there's fun, and then there's like, oh, I'm trying to pop off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And one of the things I do think is special about the comedy community, like there is a community of comics. 100%. What is that experience like? Because it's a unique experience, you know? You can't go in the street and find like, I'm going to find a bunch of other comedians, but yet like you're fully tapped into such a powerful community.
I say we're a pretty big comedy scene with a lot of like history, like a lot of big names come from here.
Yeah.
You know, like Patrice, Burr, Louis, Steve Carell's from
Rogan
here.
also.
Rogan's from here too.
From here, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of big names all come from here. But it's cool because it's like, I feel like comedy is kind of like underground, whereas it's like, it's not like mainstream. Whereas like if I play basketball, there will be zero chance. If I was 2 feet taller and I played basketball, there would still be no chance that I would ever like play with LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Almost zero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I do comedy long enough, it's quite possible for me to just pop in and meet Chappelle one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he will just pop into clubs.
Okay, yeah, it's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's one of the cool things about comedy, where it's like the community is a little bit smaller, and outside of the drama, usually more tight-knit, because there's some infighting too, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, we won't. Well, Peter, thank you so much for sharing your story. It was awesome having you on the show here, man. Be sure to keep up with all things Peter Liu on Instagram. He's got some hilarious stuff on there. Soon we'll be back with Guatemalan superstar and New England Revolution player Olger Escobar. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Midweek Madness. I'm Valeria Bagot.
I'm Colby Johnston. The first photo of Pope Francis since his hospitalization has been released, and the Vatican says he's approved a 3-year plan for church reforms, a sign he's staying on as Pope, which is impressive because my grandpa, who's even younger than the Pope, just signed up for a month-long gym membership, and even that felt ambitious.
Measles has grown around to 279 cases in the U.S., quickly approaching the total from 2024 with the first measles-related death in over a decade. If only there was a vaccine to protect you from something like that.
Kanye West released a new song this Saturday featuring his daughter, Northwest, and 2 other young and up-and-coming artists. If you're concerned with the safety of these children on a track with a guy like Kanye, who's been up to some stuff recently, no need to fear. Diddy was also on the song to ensure their safety. In his recent call with Trump, Putin agreed to pause attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure for a month and discuss a potential ceasefire. So sure, bombs are still dropping from the sky, but we'll give you just enough time to finish season 2 of Severance.
On Tuesday, the National Archives released around 80,000 pages of declassified records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. Experts say the files provide new insight, fresh leads, and just enough redactions to ensure that your uncle on Facebook will never run out of things to post.
This Sunday, Boston students and locals went all out for St. Patrick's Day, especially in Southie, where things got extra rowdy. Police reported multiple brawls, officer assaults, and plenty of underage drinking. But the real highlight, the massive Borg bust. Boston police seized a ridiculous number of these blackout rage gallons, ensuring the only thing getting more pumped than the crowd was their stomachs.
On Thursday, BU announced that multiple doctorate programs in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences will not be accepting applications for next year. Good news for those who are planning to apply. Now they won't have to drain their savings on tuition and can finally afford something far more reasonable, like a 3-bedroom ranch.
Months after Massachusetts voters rejected possible psychedelic legalization, state lawmakers are now pushing bills to legalize psilocybin. Because let's be honest, politicians have been tripping for years, just without the fun colors.
This weekend, both the men's and women's lacrosse teams pulled off hat tricks with big wins. Great news for the 5 diehard fans who actually noticed. On Wednesday, Ben & Jerry's alleged that their parent company's CEO was fired over political posts criticizing President Donald Trump. CEO David Stever was reportedly upset, but luckily, Ben & Jerry's knows a thing or two about handling meltdowns.
This week, the 2025 March Madness tournament officially begins. And once again, BU didn't make the cut. So around here, it's just another year of March Madness, where instead of buzzer beaters and Cinderella stories, we get students at March Chapel desperately trying to hand you a flyer on your way to class. Of course, don't forget to fill out your bracket though. March is that magical time when anyone can win. You've got powerhouses like Duke and Florida, but also Creighton, McNeese, and Wofford, which sound less like schools and more like the law firm handling your grandma's will. Robert Morris sounds like your Trump-loving neighbor, and Norfolk State feels like the college Dumbledore graduated from. And don't sleep on SIU Edwardsville, because they hail from the great state of... Actually, I'm not sure where they come from. And as much as you love Kendrick, there's still a Drake that might finally win something this year.
Over in Albania, protests have erupted over the government's 1-year TikTok ban, with many calling it an attempt to silence voices ahead of their big election. If only that happened here in the US, then I might have actually paid attention to the election instead of Mudang.
Yeah. Earlier this week, NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, who were aboard last year's SpaceX mission, landed in the Gulf of America after being stuck in orbit for 9 months. I can't imagine being trapped in the dark, cramped space for 9 months. Actually, I think everyone on Earth can.
Nearly a year after the first human case of bird flu from a dairy cow, the virus continues to devastate farms, driving up egg prices up 15% above average by February of this year. Everyone seems really surprised about this bird flu thing, but honestly, I thought they all did that.
Yesterday, the Daily Free Press reported that scrolling through LinkedIn has become just as common for college students as scrolling through social media. Naturally, I decided to up my game and start posting more to expand my network. Unfortunately, I quickly learned that a 3 a.m. Who's Up post isn't exactly the kind of engagement future recruiters are looking for.
Once again, this was Midweek Madness. I'm Valeria Bigot.
And I'm Colby Johnston. We hope you have a slightly above average week.
Please welcome star player for the New England Revolution, Guatemala's Golden Boy, making his first appearance on the Live with Ty stage, Olger Escobar. So something interesting that you acquired recently, bearded dragon. Can you tell me a little bit about that? You're probably shocked how I know that.
I
got my sources, man. I'm telling you.
That's crazy. So yeah, I'll talk you through it, kind of.
Yeah, please do.
I was, I usually my schedule is wake up in the morning, 8 a.m. then show up to the facility.
Do you feed the dragon at all?
Yeah, but this was the day I got it.
Oh, this
I'm
is
telling
okay.
you, I'm telling-
Okay.
all right,
Okay.
so-
You give me the whole background.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Good.
This
Tell
was
me.
like, cause this was like 2 days ago. So
You just got it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my, dude, my researchers, they're on point.
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
So,
Keep going.
I had training, and then I went back home with my boy because I live at a like apartment complex
Okay.
with like 2 of my other teammates,
I knew that.
and we were just like, we were bored. We
Yeah.
had nothing else to do. He has a fish, first of all, so we were like, let's go get like
Wow.
your
So
fish.
you guys are just into the weird combos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were like, yeah, let's go get another fish for the tank or whatever.
Okay.
And then we come across a turtle,
Okay.
but the turtle was like too big for the tank.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you were like,
it might eat the fish too.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want
Oh,
that.
but we got a different like tank for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So then we come across this turtle and it's like way too big for the tank. It's like, oh, apparently like we need a 120-gallon like tank for this thing.
Wow.
We're like yeah, nah, we're
yeah.
good. So then we go to Petco, another store. We were like, yeah, let's go look for like a box turtle or whatever, right? Because we were in the system of turtles at that moment. We go to Petco and we see like the bearded dragon. We were like, oh, shit, like we should do this. And it said like take like care level. It was like easy.
Okay.
So we were like, all right, like why not? Right?
Why not?
Why not? We had the whole day. We were like, we got like a reptile tank. It's
Okay.
like pretty long. We got this the bearded dragon, and now it's like back at home taking care of it.
How's that whole process been like acquiring a new pet? It's interesting. I can't tell you've ever had anyone on the show. It's like, yeah, I like pets, but my bearded dragon really like is special to
Yeah,
me.
it's just crazy to think about. Like I have a dragon in my house. Like,
I know, that's
right?
crazy,
Like,
bro.
I don't know. It's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is. You also been spending a lot of time with the first team at New England.
Yeah.
How's that kind of transition been for you?
It's been good. I went to preseason with them. It was in Florida.
Where in Florida?
IMG.
IMG, okay.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
there a couple times.
Yeah, so it's a nice place, nice campus.
Beautiful.
Fields are amazing. But I spent a lot of time there with them, and it was a great experience. Like having to play with 2021 MVP Carlos Hill.
How is it playing with like those players at like, again, professional level?
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like you learn so much as a young player being with those veterans and those really good players.
So speaking of your time in the academy, high school isn't something that that you guys do. You do a lot of online school, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a bunch of things and tell me if you experienced them or not.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Homeroom.
Oh, homeroom, yes. In
How?
middle
Tell me.
school.
In middle school. In middle school.
In middle school.
What about detention? I mean, you seem like
I have been to detention.
You have been? Okay.
Yeah, in middle school.
A couple times, or like.
Like a couple times. Yeah.
How was it now in high school? Like you kind of didn't have to do that anymore.
I wouldn't say a quiet kid, but I would like kind of focus because like my mom would be on top of me.
Yeah, she'd be on your case.
Yeah. So like a progress report that would like.
Okay.
Like I would do some sneaky stuff to that progress report. Like I would change the grades and stuff, just so like my mom wouldn't like trip on me and stuff.
You gotta keep her smiling.
Of course.
What about SAT prep?
Nah.
No, you're lucky for that.
I know.
That
I've
sucks.
heard.
I mean, Jake could probably tell you about it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
What about homecoming?
Nah.
No. Common App? Do you know what Common App is or no?
Nah.
Oh my, dude, you're blessed.
Am I though?
So Common App's the thing that to apply to get into colleges. It's another thing. It's combined with SAT prep and everything.
Okay.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of you. Honestly. Prep rally.
Nah.
What about getting shoved into a locker and getting called a crunch bar?
Ooh, not a crunch bar, but
You got shoved into a locker?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought that was about to be just me.
Nah.
Tell me that story.
actually, cause I joke around with my teammates all the time. So there's a couple older guys older than me, obviously, and I kind of just troll. Like I love to troll.
You love to troll.
So,
yeah, I heard you don't take yourself too seriously.
yeah, no.
That's good. That's good.
So I love to troll them, and like they're way bigger than me, stronger than me, and like I would just like hit them on the back, like after they showered or whatever, and like mad hard, and they would like grab me and like shove me in the locker. And,
Really?
Yeah.
So that was kind of an alley-oop to me, to make fun of myself, but like fellow brother that gets shoved into the locker room. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're gonna play a game here.
Right.
It's called Translate That Slang. And how it's gonna work is that you're gonna read, like we have these cards there. You're gonna pick one up, and there's 6 of them. You're gonna read them, and then you're gonna explain what they mean to me. I don't think they're in English.
Okay.
And my Spanish, you know, it's poor.
right.
We'll say it's poor to say the
All
least. So why don't you take a crack at the first one?
Échame la mano.
It has something to do with hand.
Yep.
That's all I got. What does it mean?
It means like help me out. Like if you were like asked to get that, be like échame la mano to like get that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's something parents say a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's something your mom would tell you.
Yeah.
Probably more times than she likes to.
Yeah. Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Why don't you try another one?
Que miras vos?
I have no idea what that one might be. I know who wrote it though, but you know.
Okay. Do you know where it comes from?
No.
Do you remember Messi like against
Do I remember
Holland?
Messi? Come on, dude. What does Messi have to do with it?
So he said this to a Dutch coach
Okay.
again in the World Cup
In the World Cup.
2022, and he was just like he was like heated and he was like, "What are you looking at?" Like,
Okay, got you.
I don't know what bobo means, but
Oh, you don't know what it, but you kind of do know what it means.
but like I do.
Help explain it.
I would say like dummy. Like, what are you looking at?
Okay,
dummy?
what are you looking at, dummy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Messi's got a little grit to him.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Que lo que.
I don't know. Que lo que. I've heard that one a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Miami. I've heard that one a lot.
Okay.
That's like que lo que, que lo que. I feel like a lot of people from Puerto Rico say that.
Yeah, a lot. And
Que lo
like,
que.
Dominicans.
Isn't it like what's up?
Yeah, what's good.
Okay.
Like, yeah, what's up?
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
All right, good. I got one. That's good. That's good.
Thank
My
you.
Spanish is improving. Thank you.
Buena onda.
Say it one more time.
Buena onda.
Honda, like car company?
Nah.
Okay, dude. Tell me.
It's like, like thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, like, good looks. Like,
Oh, okay, buena
Yeah,
onda.
yeah.
So like someone opens the door for you.
right.
Buena onda. Oh my, dude, they're gonna think I'm such a gentleman after
Yeah.
this.
But that's kind of like slang. That's not proper.
It's not. I mean, but it still makes someone feel good. No,
Yeah, and like, but there's some countries where like
you wouldn't say that.
they wouldn't understand what that meant.
Okay, is that like let's say European Spanish, South American
Like a
Spanish?
Central America.
Central America.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I
And
gotta plan a
then-
trip to Mexico then.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
might have to.
Or Guatemala.
Or
Come
Guatemala.
on.
Tell me.
No manches. I don't really know much about this one. Like, I don't know
Well, me either.
the
That's
fully definition of it. But
okay. Give me
I would,
like a general
I would
idea.
say it's like no way.
No
Like,
way.
Yeah. Like,
Can you like give me context about it? Like no manches, like
be like, for example, Barca just got scored on right now. I'd be
Okay.
like, no manches.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You don't like Barca, no?
Nah, I love Barca.
Oh God.
It's my team.
This is gonna be interesting to say the least. I want to talk about your experience with the Guatemala national team. It's clear to say like you're the golden boy. We were doing some research. You had a combined post, not just with the soccer team, but with the country's account.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just to give context, guys, for whoever's listening, it's not a collaborative post with just a soccer team. No, the nation of Guatemala did a combined post with you. How did that come about, and what's your experience been like with working with that country so closely? Like they love you over there.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I've never
not gonna
heard
lie.
that.
Yeah.
Remember, I did a collab post with like USA.
Yeah.
That'd be
No,
crazy.
It'd be crazy. Yeah, no, just like I'm super grateful for that country. Obviously, they took me in when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
When I went to go first play with the U17s
Mm-hmm.
in Guatemala, they took me in really well. Fans have been great. Obviously, all the people over there are really, really kind and loving. Guatemala.com like posted me on their page
On their Instagram.
and I saw it was like 200K views. and
Yeah,
I was like-
dude. I mean,
was
it's the
like,
whole country,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's like, I'm still kind of dumbfounded by that. Like, how's it been to be a part of a country who's so receptive to your promise and to your talents
Yeah.
as a player?
It's amazing. Like I said, I'm really grateful for how they take me in. I try to do my best in what I do, obviously, and I just try to stay as humble as possible.
Also, in your journey, your first number ever was pretty iconic. Number 20.
Right.
You probably know like why. You know, Carlos Ruiz the Fish.
Yeah.
Did you understand the significance of the role that you were going to step into when you were first made that jump to the first team? That's the number they gave you.
I think it's something that means a lot to me, and obviously to the country.
Yeah, dude.
So
He's like their GOAT.
right, exactly.
That's crazy.
So the fact that they're keeping me in charge of that special number is really like really important to me. I try to obviously treat the number and the badge
Yeah, of course.
like with as much care as possible. And yeah, no, it's amazing to think that our best player, I'm repping his number.
You came in one of the matches and made an assist, probably against Uruguay. One thing I think why it's so special, the caliber of Uruguayan players. So you're playing against top-tier players that play for Barca, that play for Atleti, to play for sometimes Arsenal, teams like that. What was that like to, compete a bit against those caliber of players and have such an active impact as soon as you go in a match?
Came out on a halftime and try to just impact the game in the best way possible. I was so gassed like that. It was so hot. I came from Boston to Miami, and I think I'd played like a game before that, and it was just so hot. And like obviously I got that one opportunity in the box where I half turned a guy, and then I kind of just like toe poked it a little bit so my teammate could score, and then obviously it's a moment to remember.
When you're playing against players of that level, a lot of them are always in the top levels of European football. Is there a stark difference in how they play and how they compose themselves? What was that experience like from like a technical component?
They were really good, and they moved the ball really quick. Like the first half, it was amazing to see, because not only because we were playing against them, but like their football is very fun to watch.
If there's a specific pet peeve that you have of playing in Boston, just the area geographic, what would it be? Tell us here. Could be like I hate the weather, because I hate the weather.
Yeah.
Here, but don't say that because you're stealing my answer if you do that.
All right. Probably the location.
Location.
Foxborough, for sure.
Why? Yeah, tell me more about that.
It's like way too far.
It's deep?
It's way too deep.
It's way too deep? How long did it take you to get here from Foxborough?
With traffic, like almost an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, you're committed.
Yeah.
I appreciate you even more.
Yeah, anything for Live with Ty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So when you make that jump from being an academy player to a professional, what's that like? What's the most shocking thing that you found out and that you experienced when you're like, I'm a pro now, like I do this for a living?
First, I think the last name on the jersey gives it like a little hit to yourself. I feel like I was number 19 on my academy jersey last week, and then the next week I have my last name on my jersey. Like I feel like that's something that hit me different. Something that I had to adapt, as well as the physicality and the speed of play.
So is grown man strength the real thing?
Yeah, I feel like that's something you would have to adapt to. That's something I had to adapt to. I don't like the gym at all.
Okay.
I don't like
you and your boy, huh?
Yeah, I don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, literally.
You and your boy.
Yeah, so I don't like lifting at all. Now I kind of do a little bit, just cause like I have to. I want to like feel good. I want to be stable on the field.
So that was like the kind of shocking moment.
Right.
Like now I have to be in the gym.
Right. You got to take stuff more serious. Discipline is obviously a part of that. Like sleeping early, eating the right things. Because at the pro level, you don't get a second chance.
Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years, from a footballing perspective?
I definitely want to see myself playing consistent minutes at a high level. Like if it's not here in MLS, it would definitely be in Europe.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I'll leave you with this: when you do get there, don't forget about us.
I will.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Be sure to keep up with all things Escobar and the New England Revolution on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, I'm your host, Tyler Johnson. Thank you, and good night.